Hi there everybody. You might remember about a month ago, the Powerhouse Museum in Ultimo closed down for renovations. I was there on the last day. There'll be a video about that in the future. But today, a new Powerhouse Museum here in Castle Hill has now opened up using the old side of the museum's Discovery Centre. So come along with me. So this is the existing museum's Discovery Centre here at the moment. It's situated on 2 floors, as you can see along here. So we go down these stairs to continue to the main part of the museum's Discovery Centre. And just there, that's the new building, just over there. Inside of here is store 2. So there's lots of, stuff. Here we go, we got, record players, phonographs. Just here we have old television sets just over here, and old radio sets here, and old cameras as well. These things make it possible for me to make this YouTube video today. Here we go, old rotary telephones. Here we go, telegraph keys here, and more cameras here, just along there. Okay, and now we're going to continue inside here. So this is sort of the main area of the museum's Discovery Centre. So it looks pretty similar to how I remember it, except they have this little Mars rover just here. So this is an old fire truck from the Fire Brigade, now Fire Rescue New South Wales, just over there. So this is an old cable tram from Melbourne. It's since been restored to be to look like the old King Street cable tram, because before electric trams we had quite an extensive cable tram network as well. One of them used to go from Milsons Point, where Luna Park is now, all the way up to Ridge Street, near where Victoria Cross Metro Station is now. And then just here is the very, very, very popular cafe, just over here. So this is where we go from the old museum's Discovery Centre over to the brand new Powerhouse Museum. It's very exciting for me because I saw this under construction, and also we're going to be able to see the monorail, which I haven't seen in 11 years since the last day it ran. So this is incredibly exciting. Here we go, this is it. We're going in now. One of the first people to enter, just here. Have a look at this. And then this over here is, and that's it. That's it, just there. Look at that. I haven't seen it for years. This is so exciting, you should see my face. Actually, you can see my face a little bit. Very excited. And then, just through this little door here, we're finally here. So we've got lots of transport exhibits there. We've got some vintage buses, we'll go there in a minute, and that's it. Here we go. It looks exactly the same as it was on the day that it closed. It's still there. So the seats were set up in a 4x4 configuration, 4 on this side, 4 on the other side, and there would be no access to the next carriage except in an emergency. You go through this window. That's because this area along here was used, these little wheels here and these tyres were used, these wheels and tyres wrapped around the track, and that helped to make it go. The back of the train originally had a guard, but eventually it was driver only. So the back of the train, the difference with the back, it didn't have the driver console, it was, all covered up, no windscreen wiper, and you could just, stand out there, enjoy the ride. Well, if you went into the front, you only really got to go in there if it was A, full, or B, the driver liked you. So we're now going to check out buses that look like buses, and buses that definitely do not look like buses. So this is MO 507. I think I've seen this bus once here at the museum's Discovery Centre. It goes from Hurstville Station. It used to go from Hurstville Station to Hurstville Grove, so it was sort of, used around the St George area.
So the bus on the right is called Atlantean, and that replaced the bus on the left, which is called a Leyland Titan. They're both Leyland manufacturer. Leyland was a company that was established in the United Kingdom, and I'm going to talk about this one, the Titan, here on the left. You'll see that it's done quite a bit of work, you might gather from its appearance. And the chassis for this was built in England in 1951. It was then shipped to Australia, and Clyde Engineering Works at Granville, who used to do a lot of work with trains, and you will know the name, they built the coachwork to sit on it. So this bus took to the road in 1954, and it worked out of 4 depots, places like Burwood Depot and those, and it travelled around Sydney. I mean, a lot of you people here would have grown up with double-decker buses. We would have remembered them as green and yellow, remember? So here we go where I say, the story goes that we changed to blue and white in New South Wales after a royal visit by Prince Philip, who suggested that our red rattlers didn't look too good. Remember the red rattler trains? And they were painted like the product we had called Ferrochrome, I think. You know, we used to do the cars up and get rid of the rust, and it was always that colour. And he suggested blue and white might be very nice for the public transport system. The fact that he came from Greek heritage and the blue and white were great colours, and the special blue that was chosen. Do you remember the trains changed to blue and white? The ferries changed to blue and white. The buses changed to blue and white. This was the last double-decker to be painted blue and white. So it went around Sydney until 1969. So 1954 to 69. It then got transferred to Newcastle. It went into Hamilton Bus Works at Newcastle. It had a mechanical upgrade, and that's where it was painted blue and white. They would serve the Newcastle route until 1975, when it was brought back to Sydney. They had a big send-off up there, and a whole lot of followers got in it, and they drove to Sydney. And instead of retiring it, they put it back to work at Burwood Bus Depot, and it worked from June 75 to March 76, at which point the water pump really blew up, and the Department of Transport, as it was in those days, said, that's enough, let's retire it. But if you grew up with a double-decker bus, they were quite interesting because while I didn't catch a bus to school, when we went to sporting occasions, a number of these would turn up. But my wife used to catch a double-decker sometimes from early to get to places, and it's got an open deck on the back. So it had a driver, and a little glass sliding window behind him, and had a sign, do not speak to the driver. But he could open it and talk to them. And the conductor. And once the conductor had taken his fares, he would stand on the back platform. And thank heavens for that, because if you were about to come to your stop, and you were upstairs, because everyone made a beeline for the front seats. Got to sit front up there, you know. So your bus stop would be coming up, down you'd go, you'd be halfway down the back stairs, the bus would lurch, and thank heavens the conductor was there to go, grab, gotcha. The other thing is if you were running late for a bus and you saw it, you'd charge up there with a little glowboy school case, and you'd jump on it, but sometimes kids missed it anyway. So it wasn't the safest thing. That one got itself closing doors, driver collected the money. Interesting, not real happy because the driver was having to do 2 jobs. There's a little bit of consternation about that in the workforce. But this bus finished up doing 687,910 kilometres.
Channel 7, all the best. And then this here, this is really cool just here. This is an old trolley bus here. From the 1930s until around the 50s and the 60s, when diesel buses really dominated, there was a trend to replace tram lines with trolley buses, like this one here. And we were sort of pretty late, so we didn't have very many routes about it, but one of them was over to Sandringham. We also had some to Potts Point and a few other places as well, sort of mainly out in the suburbs and isolated former isolated tram networks. So this is really cool to see here. You can see the trolley poles just up here. There were 2 of them instead of 1 for the trams, and the conductor would have a big pole. You'd grab it up there, and then you would connect these poles onto the wires that would be above the road. At the time, trolley buses allowed for greater flexibility on the roads while still being environmentally friendly, and to be able, well, not as much capacity as the trams could, but you know, somewhat all right. But in the end, diesel buses became the norm, and these were gone after about 20-30 years. So for many years, except for walking, this was pretty much your only form of transport and was mainly reserved for, the rich in society. These lovely carriages here that were literally, horse and cart. They were drawn by horses and could, only go as fast as the horses could. You can see how beautifully made these cabs were and these carriages back in the day. Just stunning. So this float right behind me was used for the Journey of the Nation parade, which was to celebrate the centenary of Federation in Australia back in 2001. This one in particular was called Who Are We? So it symbolised reconciliation in Australia with the First Nations people of Australia who've been here for over 65,000 years. This car behind me is a Ford Prefect, right behind me, and this car was converted to electricity by a guy called Roy Doring, who was based in Cogra here. So he converted it from a petrol car into an electric car, and it was perfect for city driving. No emissions at all, and had a range of 70 kilometers and a top speed of 60 kilometers per hour. And it would not waste any energy while sitting in traffic. And then behind me, this was the first fuel cell car to be imported into Australia. So these bits of steel right behind me here were used to test the strength of the harbour bridge just here. These were used as sort of testers for, before they started properly building the bridge here. And these didn't fail. They just kept on, testing them, seeing at what point will it break. And these are the results here. And these have never been shown to the public before. These have been in storage for literally over 80 years. Closer to over 90 years now, left in storage and finally open to the public for the first time. This was at the World Expo back in 1879, which we in Sydney hosted here at the Royal Botanic Gardens at an old place called the Garden Palace. I've made a video about it. Check it out just up here whenever I get it online. But this here, this is the first set of interlocking gears for signalling here. So this was used as a demonstration for a new type of, signalling. The signal boxes, you pull up here and you change the signals around here and the points as well. So this was a demonstration of that and was quite revolutionary at the time.
That would have been once connected up to this to control it and move it around. The story that we had from the donor was that this machine came from the Ford factory here in Sydney in Homebush. There was a factory where they manufactured vehicles here.
So this plane right behind me was the first plane that was used as an airmail service. It took 3 days going from Melbourne to Sydney, and this plane was the first one to use it. Now you might notice that the wings aren't here on the planes. It's not because they were silly and flew without wings, and it would have ended pretty badly. But that's because it was more safer to be able to. It was more safer when they put them in here to take the wings off. So they put the wings in these crates instead, and the wings themselves are slinged right underneath like that. And then these are some looms just here. cartridges. Yeah, that would be a Game Boy cartridge. An old cartridge which would have used this projector just here. The infamous Game Boy just here. The infamous Game. So these are
archival materials.
yeah. So these are all the archival materials just here that I use to help safely store all the products when they're being transported to other locations. These are old VHS tapes. Just here, these are the cartridges for the tapes. Just here, taking a video of all these sciencey stuff. Sort of taking videos of everything in case of people weren't able to make it here this weekend, because I knew a lot of people that wanted to come but didn't have enough time. And then these are some of the new storage units just along here. Let's see if we can find anything up this way. Oh, there's a few stuff, not too many yet. And then here are some more items just here. And now we're going to go on a tour of the small object storage room, just this way.
And you'll see that there are various different types of holders and different ways of keeping these objects safe. So we have large boxes that are padded out with what we call decorative pillows. You can see some more of those in here in their little boxes. These grey parts trays we call them. These are commercially produced, and you might see them in garages and tool sheds and whatnot. We've repurposed them and put in interior sort of foam cutouts and foam archival material to nestle the objects safely. So again, it's about being able to move and store and keep the objects safe. So if we keep moving down, we can see various sorts of holders, parts, trays against tubs. We've got our handling board here. So the object is fitted out onto a board. So again, it's about being able to pick up the object, move it, and without actually touching it. And that's especially important for metal, because touching metal, the oils from your skin damage the metal. One thing that another lovely thing that came out of the project was culturally sensitive material. So up here we've got some borders, and we were storing them below the head which was so much to do with So we've started marking with having the project to identify all our borders of material and to mark it so that it is always fully covered. So that's a nice culture. We consulted with the community and advice back from them on how they should be stored and where they should be stored. Again, parts trays for especially made holders. So here we've got some archival boxes for our ivory. Ivory as it ages becomes extremely fragile. So this makes it much easier and less stressful for us working in the museum to move these objects, knowing that they're nestled in their little boxes. And once it comes to these things being earmarked for exhibition, they're easily packed up into their own boxes then into larger crates and tubs to be put on the truck and moved to Parramatta or to Ultimo to go to exhibition. There's more examples of handling boards. This stuff's very interesting. This stuff is called intercept film. Silver is damaged every time you polish it to get rid of the tarnish. So this intercept film slows down oxidization of silverware. So you can't see the object, but it's in there in its holder, and the film is stopping it from tarnishing as quickly as it would have previously. So quite a lot of our silverware is wrapped and sealed in that intercept film.
Thank you very much to everyone here inside of the Powerhouse Museum for giving me this special tour today. Now, it's only for this weekend that I'm filming that you can actually go inside of those transport areas that you saw in there. Otherwise, you'll just have to look through here to be able to see all the exhibits inside. So it's a really special opportunity to have been able to go inside of there. So thank you very much and have a great rest of the day. Goodbye.